Hey YouTube, it's wintertime here in Canada. Building projects are coming to a little bit of a halt. I'm back working full-time as a teacher and it's getting dark at like 5 o'clock. So it's tough to do YouTube videos, and especially the kind of YouTube videos I like to do. So we're trying to find some time to fit some things in and create some content for you so that we can keep that going. So we're gonna move inside and do some indoor stuff. And one of the big topics right now that's out there, we've already talked a little bit about it on this channel, is what electric truck should we be buying? So right now the top three are the Cybertruck, the Rivian R1T, and the Ford Lightning. And this is my take on which one I should be buying for me. And what you'll notice in the thumbnail is that Cybertruck's not present in the thumbnail because, well, I really can't see myself buying the Cybertruck. I mean, it's a cool vehicle. It's got a lot of really great features. Built-in tonneau cover, some of the solar stuff. I love the fact that when you put the tailgate down, the actual back end of the vehicle drops down, but I can't see parking it in my driveway or in my garage. It's just not something that I'm ready to do. And quite honestly, when you hear about all the media and hubbub around it, it sounds like it's something that we're not gonna see for a while. So we're gonna talk about the Rivian and the F-150 Lightning. Before we get into the reasons why I would pick one of them, let's talk about something we're not going to talk about, and that is price and range. First off, with price, we know these vehicles are going to cost more than the average truck. Definitely more than the truck I'm driving right now. Even with the gas savings and maintenance savings, over the long term it might kind of equal out, but I still think they're going to be above what I want to be paying for a truck, or what I'm paying right now. If we talk range, right now I'm used to driving a truck that can get 1,200 kilometers to a tank before I have to stop and worry about fuel. Both these vehicles, top of the line F-150, get 480 kilometers to a charge. A lot less than 1,200 kilometers. Traveling's going to have to change, planning's going to have to change. My everyday drive is 12 kilometers back and forth to work, so I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about it on a daily basis. It's just the big trips I'm gonna have to worry about, and the towing of the Sea-Doos in the summer that I'm gonna have to worry about. But either way, I'm going from 1,200 kilometers down to 400 kilometers. So there's gonna be some adjustment. So both price and range are not something we're gonna talk about because both of them are going to have to adjust what I'm doing right now. So let's get into the 5 reasons why I'd pick the Lightning over the R1T. And reason number 1 is the power panel moonroof in the F-150. I know the Rivian's got a glass top. The power panel moonroof is essentially glass top. But at the push of a button, I can open my glass top and get a breeze inside the vehicle. And with the push of another button, I can close it and close the shade to get out of the sun if I want to. And I gotta tell you, after spending the day on the water on the Sea-Doo in the sun all day, it's nice to get in the truck, close the panel moonroof, and turn on the air conditioning and not have the sun beating on you anymore. Rivian is talking about possibly a removable roof in 2022, but I can't imagine having to take that roof off and then store it somewhere. Much as I like the idea of the Bronco and taking doors off and doing some fun stuff with that, I can't imagine having to take the glass roof off, store it or leave it at home, and then find out that you're getting stuck in the rain and not have the roof with you. Again, a push of the button and I can close the twin panel moonroof and I am good to go. Reason number 2 why I'd pick the Lightning over the R1T is the fact that I like buttons. I know there's a lot of controversy on the internet right now around Tesla and the R1T interface and the fact that they've gotten menus and gotten rid of a lot of the buttons. And some people think it's okay. But I like buttons. I think some things should be left to a button functionality. Right now, if I hit my cruise button, it not only turns the cruise on, but it sets it to the speed I'm going. And what I'm finding I'm doing a lot right now is when I exit the truck, I'm hitting the tailgate release button. By the time I get to the back of the truck, the tailgate's down, ready to be unloaded or loaded. Makes sense, just a push of a button. And I know there's a lot of controversy around this whole moving vents thing. How many people move vents in the cars? If you watch some of the other YouTube channels, they're talking about this. I move my vents. I move my vents a lot. Right now in the morning when it's cool, I like to point the vents at my hands on the steering wheel, heat my hands up and keep them nice and warm till the cabin heats up. When that's done, I point them the other direction. In the summer when I'm working hard and I'm sweating and I'm hot and I leave the job site, I like to blast the air conditioning at my face. And when I'm cool, move the vents, push the air conditioning to cool the cabin. Can't imagine having to go into a menu to do that when I can just grab the vent right now and move it wherever I want to move it. So that's reason number 2 why I'd pick the Lightning over the R1T. Reason number 3, let's talk frunks. Again, both trucks have frunks. Both of them have ample power, ample storage. The F-150 is 3 cubic feet bigger, but in all honesty, there's going to be a lot more space in the F-150 because it's a bigger truck. They both got drains in it, so if you put wet stuff in it, which I'm thinking we will, you can drain the bottom out and things stay dry. But the difference between the frunk on the F-150 and the frunk on the Rivian is that front access point. When you open up the front on the Rivian, you're not opening up the front and you have to lift things up and over to get it inside the front. I'm a tall guy, so I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, but it's going to be difficult. Always up and over, always up and over. And I can't imagine how the front of that vehicle is going to handle bumps and bruises and nicks and stuff like that from the stuff you're lifting up and over. That light bar I don't think is going to last very long. Whereas with the F-150, when you open the front, you have full front access. So you can just pull things in and out instead of having to lift them up and over to get them out. So that's reason number 3 why the Lightning comes ahead of the R1T for me. Reason number 4 is storage. Now I gotta hand it to Rivian here because that gear tunnel is a really cool idea. And it would be perfect for wakeboards, water skis, and even my snow brush. Because I don't like storing my snow brush inside the cab. And when it's in the tailgate and I'm backed up against a snowbank, the only way to get it out is to crawl onto the snowbank. So that gear tunnel would be certainly a spot for me to put my snow brush. But the storage of that gear tunnel is coming from somewhere. It's got to either come from the bed, which is why the bed in the R1T is smaller, it's a smaller truck, or the back seat. And I think it's coming from both in the R1T. My XLT has a 5.5 foot bed, and there's lots of times where I find it's smaller than it should be and I can't get in what I want to get in it. But I can't imagine going smaller. Right now my stand for my miter saw fits in my trunk with the tailgate up. It wouldn't in the Rivian. And the Rivian boasts about this gooseneck tailgate that comes down that gives them this extended amount of space. But in my 5.5 foot bed, when I put my tailgate down, I get 92 inches of bed space, which is like 8 inches bigger than the Rivian with their gooseneck tailgate. So if the tailgate's going down, the F-150 is still ahead of the game. Really looking forward to the storage inside the front, but I really like the design of the storage in the back seat of the F-150. And I've yet to see another truck that's designed that way. When you flip those 2 seats up in the back seat, you have tons of ample flat floor space. It's great for the dog, great for toolboxes, great for big items that you don't want in the tailgate, which I think now will move to the front, so we'll have lots of space anyways. But I gotta say that storage in the F-150 definitely outweighs the storage in the R1T. And lastly, reason number 5 why I'd pick the Lightning over the R1T is Apple CarPlay. I can't figure out why a company that's building an electric vehicle and putting all kinds of technology in it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, or for you Android people, Android Auto. Doesn't make sense to me. I like my Apple devices, from my Apple phone to my iMac, my iPad, even my Apple Watch. I love the OS interface. I like that they're all connected. There's nothing better than AirDrop between devices. Even in my XLT right now, I very seldom use the Sync 4 system that Ford provides. I like my Apple navigation. I like Apple Maps. I like my Apple texting and messaging ability. I like the fact that I can hit a button and tell Siri to make a note in my vehicle. And I can't do that if I don't have Apple CarPlay. Now granted, my Apple CarPlay isn't flawless. I find that since Ford has gone wireless, there's been times where my phone hasn't connected and I've had to turn the vehicle off and turn it back on, that kind of thing. But I take the time to do that because I use it that often. That's my take on the electric truck saga right now. My choice being the F-150 Lightning. Don't get me wrong, the R1T is a cool vehicle. And if I was that outdoorsy adventure guy that likes camping, I would probably pick the R1T over the F-150 Lightning. I gotta say that the kitchen sink in the gear tunnel, the built-in Bluetooth speaker that you can pull out and party with, the integrated tonneau cover that's there, even the flashlight in the door are really cool features. But are they features I would use that often? I'm not so sure. I really love the zone lighting in my Lightning. You've heard me talk about the panel moonroof. Really love it. Those are features that I have in my XLT that I would love to see in the Lightning and would love to have. And they won't exist in the Rivian right now. So if the R1T and the Lightning were parked in a parking lot and I had my choice, I'd probably pick the Lightning over the R1T right now. So I leave it up to you. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll see what happens as these trucks get closer and closer to market, and whether or not I'll be upgrading my XLT gas vehicle to the XLT Lightning when it's there. So take care. We'll see you around. That's Greg Sinti for Along for the Ride.